Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Tyron Smith being regarded as best tackle in free agency. It is often said that free agents are available for a reason. Assuming Tyron Smith does, in fact, reach the open market, the reason we will tell those who ask is the injury concerns that he carries prior to a stellar season in 2023. On one hand, it is terrifying letting someone of Smith's legend walk out the door, especially given how wonderfully he played this past season. But it is hard to forget how much football he has missed. After all, he has missed more games than he hasn't in the Mike McCarthy era, and we are already 4 years into it. On the other hand, it would probably behoove the Cowboys to up the ante in the name of keeping their future Hofer around. If Smith walks, then it becomes almost a necessity to spend pick number 24 on a tackle, unless they decide they are kicking Tyler Smith out to tackle. So there is debate here. If the team does make the emotionally difficult decision of saying goodbye, just know that there are a lot of people, as in a lot, ready to say hello from a new home. Tyron Smith is being regarded as the best tackle set to hit free agency like we are with our team. There are other people doing their best to will their own squads into signing this or that player once free agency begins next week. Given the news that Smith is unlikely to return to Dallas, it has led to a number of people clamoring for their team to sign him in the hopes that he is more like his 2023 self in 2024 as opposed to who he was from 2020 through 2022. Which player he winds up being is obviously the big unknown, but he appears to be someone that teams are willing to bet on. Brandon Thorne, one of the best evaluators of offensive linemen on the internet, has Smith ranked as his top free agent tackle. Context matters, and it is worth mentioning that this year's draft class carries a ton of promise at the tackle position specifically. In that sense, it is logical for the Cowboys to be ready to cut the cord, but nothing like that is ever a guarantee. Pick number 24 could be Tyron Smith, to borrow a former plight of Peter Griffin's, when you could just choose to keep Tyron Smith around. It is not proof that the Cowboys are 100% doing the wrong thing, but that Smith is generating so much buzz does make this all feel a little bit more stressful. Thorne is not the only analyst to think highly of Smith hitting the open market. NFL Media's Greg Rosenthal has Tyron as his 5th overall free agent to be, and obviously top tackle. Cowboys quickly linked to recently cut 8-time Pro Bowler. The Steelers added another defensive back to the growing list of big names to be cut here ahead of the start of the 2024 NFL league year next week, cutting cornerback Patrick Peterson despite a productive season in which he played 97% of Pittsburgh's snaps. But Peterson, an 8-time Pro Bowler, will turn 34 in July and has, no doubt, lost a step as he has pushed into his 30s. With the Cowboys likely featuring a roster spot at cornerback, assuming veteran Stephon Gilmore's stay at the Star was just a one-year interlude, Peterson was immediately linked to Dallas as a low-cost veteran who could chip in. It helps that Peterson played for one season under coach Mike Zimmer in Minnesota, with Zimmer now the team's defensive coordinator. Peterson had his best years in Arizona, where he was made the number 5 overall pick in 2011. His 8 Pro Bowl selections came in his first 8 seasons with the Cardinals, and he also earned 3 All-Pro selections. Patrick Peterson could add depth at cornerback. With a limited free agent budget, the Cowboys will have to get creative at some spots on the roster, and cornerback is likely to be one of them, especially with the emergence of Darren Bland last year and the impending return of Trevon Diggs. Pittsburgh saved more than $6 million by cutting Peterson, who had been on a 2-year, $14 million contract he signed last season. At the Cowboys Country site on C.com, the Cowboys link to Peterson came Saturday morning. The Cowboys are certainly in need of some cornerback help with Stephon Gilmore, C.J. Goodwin and Jordan Lewis facing free agency this spring. If they don't address the position in free agency, it will certainly be a target during the draft, wrote Jeremy Breener of the site. While Peterson isn't the same player that made the Pro Bowl with the Cardinals, he can provide some depth behind Darren Bland and Trevon Diggs. He recorded 42 tackles last season for the Steelers, his lowest total since 2017. In a nod to his increasing age, Peterson moved into the slot more often with Pittsburgh than he had ever played in his previous 12 seasons in the NFL, taking 225 snaps as the slot corner after taking just 8 snaps as the slot the previous year in Minnesota, per PFF. He also played 220 snaps at free safety in 2023, after having played a total of just 11 snaps at safety in his entire prior career. Cowboys star turns heads for willingness to take discount amid rumors. The Dallas Cowboys may be able to bring back star running back Tony Pollard on a bit of a hometown discount. With NFL free agency set to begin on March 11, 2024, the Dallas Morning News' Calvin Watkins reported that Pollard is open to returning to the Cowboys, even if he commands a slightly higher offer elsewhere. A person with knowledge of Pollard's thinking told the Dallas Morning News the former fourth-round pick is open to returning, even if the contract from another team is slightly higher than the Cowboys' offer. Watkins wrote in a March 6, 2024 story titled, "Tony Pollard open to taking less for Cowboys return, will test free agency market." A team official, who spoke to the news on the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of contract talks, expects Pollard to get as many offers as possible before talking to Dallas. Cowboys rumors. Tony Pollard has been mentioned as a potential candidate to leave Dallas. Pollard has been a popular name mentioned in NFL rumors as a potential candidate to leave Dallas. This speculation is a result of two key factors. Namely, Pollard's production without Ezekiel Elliott did not significantly increase despite the additional opportunities. Finally, the Cowboys just got out of the big money running back business after releasing Elliott last offseason. Dallas may prefer to go bargain shopping at the position rather than signing Pollard to a lucrative extension. Cowboys rumors. Could the Cowboys pursue another star running back like Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry? Pollard's willingness to take a little less money could increase his chances of remaining in Dallas. Spotrac projects Pollard's market value to be a 2-year, $13 million contract. This is much less than earlier projections during the season. With other stars like Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler and Derrick Henry also hitting free agency, Pollard may find it challenging to land a lucrative long-term deal. Dallas Cowboys RB Tony Pollard's market value is a projected 2-year, $13 million contract. Pollard played on the $10 million franchise tag in 2023. The former Pro Bowler may not find a similar salary for 2024 and beyond. Bleacher Report's Maurice Modone listed Pollard as one of the free agents who could be most disappointed with their next deal. Though Pollard posted decent rushing numbers for the 2023 term, his production didn't look much different from his time as a change-of-pace tailback alongside Elliott. Modone wrote in a March 7 article titled, 8 NFL Players Who May Be Disappointed in 2024 Free Agency Interest. In fact, he rushed for 2 fewer yards and logged 59 more carries compared to the 2022 campaign and finished with a career-low 4 yards per carry. Dallas ranked 14th in rushing yards per game. Pollard seems better suited to provide juice to a backfield duo rather than handle the majority of touches, which hurt his efficiency last season, Modone continued. Pollard has the quickness to break off big runs and the hands to pick up first downs in the short passing game, but don't expect him to get a massive pay raise with this year's star-studded group of free agent running backs, which includes Derrick Henry, 2019 and 2020 rushing champion, Josh Jacobs, 2022 rushing champion, and Saquon Barkley. For context, Pollard had 252 carries for 1,005 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns in 17 starts last season. Pollard added 55 receptions for 311 yards in 2023. Even with a discount, the Cowboys could turn to the draft, free agency or a combination of both for their running back solution next season.